What are the necessary traits in order to be a good spouse? Let me first talk to the younger ones, because they are still swimming in virtual reality. So let's start with them, and then we go to those who have experienced life. What are the necessary traits? You is you now, not the other one. Somebody can use any mic.
I'll go.
Okay.
Some traits that are necessary to be a good spouse would consist of compromise, consistency, and discipline. And those are just three of many traits that is necessary to be a good spouse. The three traits that I stated were consistency, compromise, and discipline.
All right. Somebody write that down, please. Do you have anything? No. Huh? What is your expectation? What's your own expectation of marriage? You don't have to be right. There's no right or wrong. Why are you thinking of coming back? Let me address somebody else who is ready.
I think necessary traits in preparation for marriage would be having a strong spiritual foundation, specifically in Christ.
Are you writing everything down? That's the fourth one.
Having a spiritually strong foundation, specifically in Christ. What else? The ability to be adaptable. You can have your routine going on in your single life, but once a new partner comes in the picture, then there needs to be the propensity to be able to be adaptable. And patient. I think that's a very important trait to have, because as Pastor mentioned, you have two incapable, imperfect people who are joining in covenant together, and so there's going to be tension that naturally arises. So having a trait of patience, I think, is important. Amen.
Okay. Any young person? Maya? Give her the mic, please. Okay.
I think the first one I would agree is patience, because like stated before, you are two completely different people, and now you guys are adjusting to the same lifestyle, so it is imperative that you be patient with each other. And I think another one would be communication, because without communication, I'm sure it'll make any relationship or any marriage hard. And I think lastly, something that would be important for me is respect. I think it's very important that you and your partner respect each other.
Anybody else? Okay, now the adults. Maybe I should ask this. How was it when you were at their age, maybe older, and where you are now? So I'll give it to the adults. Give it to your own. How is it then and how is it now? when you were at their age?
At their age, I don't even think I thought about traits, marital traits, what it is to be married. I was clueless. I think they know more than what I knew at that age or what I even thought about at that age. We saw it growing up, but maybe I didn't understand it. We just took it for granted that our parents are the way they are or they do the things that they do. But as I grew older, through experience and things like that, I found that she said respect, which I think is one of the biggest traits that I came to know of, that I came to appreciate and really feel like that's a big deal, because I think once you go into a relationship, marriage, any relationship, friendship, respect is a big part of it, because the way you treat the person should be reciprocated. So you give respect and you get respect back, despite what is going on, despite the level of whether it's hurt or disappointment and things like that. There has to be a level of respect. Does that answer the question?
I mean, it's you personally. So what I gather from what you said is respect. And to you, I'm sure respect, it could be multiple things. But at least
Yes.
respect is the undertone for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Support is another trait, because people want to feel like you are, if you're going to be with someone, that you have their back,
Are you writing that down, please?
despite, you have their back and they have your back. So I think support is another one. Honesty. Honesty, it speaks for itself. Being transparent. Honesty and transparency, I think, go together. So those are some traits that I was thinking.
So you mentioned 3 things. So let me just throw this out before we hear the next one. Have you communicated that strongly to your supposed individual person?
Yes. From where, if I compare relationships from when I was younger to now, before I was not one to express what I needed, to express what I expected or what I can give.
Why?
I didn't know how to.
Okay.
I didn't think it was even necessary. They talk about, I can't read your mind. That was me, because I have all these feelings inside and emotions inside, but I was not expressing them. So the person is not able to read my feelings, which brings, then it just becomes a whole, miscommunication, because I'm expecting this person to know what I'm thinking and feeling, but I'm not expressing it. But now that I'm older, it's very important for me to express that this is what I like, this is how I feel, this is what I'm expecting, this is what I can give, this is what I'm learning. That's another thing that even now I'm learning to express, that I don't know that. I'm working on this. So please bear with me, because I'm a work in progress. It's not an excuse, but it shouldn't be an excuse for me to do things that I'm not supposed to be doing. But I'm being transparent, open with myself and saying, I'm learning. I'm still learning. So let's, work with me on that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. Let's give Jesus a give. a gift of a clap. Yes, ma'am. What do you know then, and what about now? And why? I will interject.
If I have to be honest, I think
No, what? Let's start with. Okay, do you know how to communicate what you want to your spouse, or you just left it to them?
I would say before now, I don't. But I think I've grown to that level where I have a clear goal and value of what I really want in a man or what I really want in a marriage. And that really make a different thing for me at this point.
You mind sharing it?
Oh yeah. Like when we talk about alignment issue, I know where I'm going in time of what I want in, let me make an example. When it comes to like what type of what I want, maybe like a children, maybe this person want maybe like maybe 2-3 kids, and at this point I don't want more than maybe 1 or 2. It's like, are you going to are we going to meet at the middle? If it is somebody that said, okay, no, I don't want, this is what I want. Somebody that is not going to adjust to what we want to do. It is something that I'm not going to try to push harder or whatever. I know this person is not going to be, it's not going to be, it's going to be difficult for us to work together. So we have to have the same alignment where we are going to what you have for yourself in the next maybe some few years. Are we going to be able to adjust for each other to meet to achieve our maybe our own aspiration, what we want to do, what we want to be, where we are going to? It's kind of clear to me right now, but before I'm always following whatever goes, but not again now. And when I was younger, all these things, I don't even know anything about it. I just go with the feeling, excitement, and all that. But it's not like that any longer. The excitement doesn't really, it's just for a day. After a day, I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about what really matters to me at this point. And I want that person to come forward with what really matters to him. And we put it on the table and we see if we are in the same page. If not, is this something we can work together? If we are not working together, I don't even want to move it further. So that's really I don't know. Yeah, if I want to, my trait, I'm going to say selflessness. You have to be selfless to really put a lot into that person. Yeah, if you have a lot of love to give, you have to be selfless to give it to the other person. And accountability, I see a lot of people dodge from that. You have to be accountable for whatever you are doing to the other. It's not only you again. Two people are planning life together. You have to be accountable. And it shouldn't be something that will cause maybe argument or whatever. I just like them putting it on the table where you talk about it.
Praise God. Is everybody here? You might need to come out from the COVID. You know, as everybody was talking, I can see the flip side of what they are talking about. Now, I will throw this out and anybody can answer it. What if you have gotten married, you are in the marriage, and things change based on what you have agreed on? Example. Example, having children. And yes, he agreed to 1 or 2. But by the time he started to see the kind of children that is coming from you, he said, this is the kind of breed that I want. I want more. What will you do? And he begged. I know somebody in the secular world that did that. Kanye West and the other, came. That they agreed to two, but then by the time they two, there was a lot of begging and a lot of compromise, and I think they allowed somebody to carry one or two, and I'm not sure. That's not the point, but yeah, he ended up with 4 or something, or 5, I don't know. So what if that happens? What are you still going to do?
Yeah, that's where compromise comes in. It is possible when you love that person, you can compromise. But when you understand that person, maybe you understand that this person is not going to compromise. And when it comes to relationship and marriage, a lot of compromise is going to come in. Where maybe job, moving, and even property and all that is a lot. So we have to give that chances of compromise. But when you realize that person, it just depends on that. Maybe that person, maybe you realize it's not going to compromise. It's going to stand on, I want this and this is how I want it. And that's when I will back out of it, like, no, I can't do it.
And what if he agrees and then you get in there, then you compromise? So you see, guys, what I'm trying to bring out is the fact that, see, what you say now and what happens later on are 2 different things. But compromise would come in. You see, when a man is chasing a woman, anything you want, you will get. Accountability. Oh, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to my friend's house. I'll be back. Once you are married, sometimes when they are too close to their friend, they are very difficult to separate. It can happen to both male and female. And then it becomes an issue. I think one of the greatest problem that we have is that, especially I believe women to men, or women against men, is that men can change quickly than a woman can change. Not that the woman cannot. Well, usually what you see a whole lot is a man, changing quicker than a woman. A woman tends to settle in and just go with the flow. And so they compromise a whole lot. Now, the question again, sorry that I'm taking it from you, because it's a long, lengthy process. There's no right and wrong. It's just being played as it goes. My wife did not marry a pastor. And I didn't marry me. I tried everything, so I would not do it. But you find yourself, so the enjoyment, the traveling, and all those things that was planned, everything has to put on hold. And so those things change. Even you yourself, you change. All right. Let me throw this out. How many women will say they like a disciplined man? You want a disciplined man?
Yeah.
What about you? You are reluctant. Huh?
Yeah.
You want a disciplined man? See, the question that I have is, can you handle it? So the next question I have, can you handle it? Yes.
So when he said the word disciplined man, every woman will say yes to disciplined man, because that means they are focused, they are goal oriented. You don't have to be trying to chase them away from, okay, friends here today, friends there tomorrow. Their heart yearn towards you again, and I'm talking from experience. Then the flip side of disciplined man is they can be nitpicking according to how they want things. Then me being married to one, I have to wait. Like what he has created is a peaceable abode. I like this. Compared to people that are free, they can grab their. It took me, we have been married now for 25 years. At least for the first 18 years, I don't remember to say, oh, Daddy, I'm going this place. He will be like, you didn't tell me. I say, I forgot. He say, when will you remember to tell you be married this long? Because I was a grab and go person. But now that you marry, you can't be grabbing and going. You have to communicate it with your spouse. And when I say I forgot, he will just laugh about it and move forward. Will I still do it again? Many times. Many times I did it again. It wasn't intentional. It was just because I was a grab and go. Discipline man is good, but we are all, describing something. I believe somebody cracked it, but I will call it sacrifice. Because sacrifice has to come in. Like, okay, this person is this good to me. I love to go to party. Well, when I met this man that is homebody, I have to cut down on my party going. And it was okay for me because of what I have at home. When I was partying, I was looking for husband then. I wasn't a Christian then. But now that I got one and it's a homebody, I'm willing to stay home because that's what I was looking for in the first place. Now that I'm a Christian and I have a homebody husband, I can be fine with him in the house. Disciplined man is a good one, but it takes grace to be able to deal with them.
So let me still ask the question. Do you want a disciplined man? You don't have to worry about him chasing another woman, which is one of the most common things. Their eyes, their being is on you. You might not be able to handle them because they are too much. They demand too much. But it's actually for your own good if you really think about it. Let me go a little deeper. Not so much towards you, the wife, supposedly. But even discipline to the children is a problem for the mother. I was telling one of my children this morning to sit from somewhere to another place. And then my wife went off. I'm like, what's the difference? So it's like, if you discipline the child in any way, it kind of rubs off on them as well. So because you are in a different phase in life, you might want something that is, like that, but I am telling you, you have to be prepared for that. A child of God must be a disciplined person. Disciplined. Outside of your husband or whatever, it will take discipline. Somebody that is going to club and doing all those kind of things, looking for something. Singing the song, everybody's looking for something. And then all of a sudden they find something. And then they still even in a man, they're still in a hustling mode, looking for the next bite. Yes, they got you, but you know, they are a wanderer, looking for what is not lost. So can you handle it? It takes a lot, women. It takes a lot, especially to those with the character trait that they accommodate everything. They call them what? Extrovert. They just like to accommodate everything. But if you marry somebody that is contrast to you as a woman, it can be a threat to you. So what I'm saying is, everybody do change. Everybody does change. And those are the things that we really need to be patient with each other. Women are naturally patient. The guy was only patient up until he got you. Once you have settled and you have married him, and you didn't open your eyes when you do that to see certain things and try to walk in. You cannot use threat for a man. It will not work. You know why? Somebody asks why.
Why?
It will adjust up until you get married. And it will flip. He will say, go to your father's house. Go back home. And then by that time, because it's like, where will I go now? I have 2 children. I have 3. I have 4. I have 6. Where will I go? So then it's over. People change. Sometimes people refuse to change. When people are making adjustment, just watch for their consistency. Are they consistent in everything? Not just one thing that you pointed out, but in all things. All right. It's a long conversation, but it's not. We'll continue also on Tuesday only.
Can I say something?
Yes,
about
ma'am.
Consistency. I remember one time I was looking for pity party. There's something that I'm seeking from my husband, and it's not looking that way. So I went before God, because I can't be calling people and say, can you talk to my husband? So I went before God. And I was telling God what asking him to do, that God should speak to his heart. Holy Spirit said, but it's consistent. I said, I know that that's not what I came for. I said, this. And he said it the second time, but it's consistent. I said, I know. Can you talk to him about this? When he said the third time, I just got up from the place of prayer. I said, okay. So then I need to look at me. What am I doing that I'm not supposed to be doing? Because you keep taking it and God kept saying what you have, the consistency in all things. So what is your problem with that thing that you are at? I can't even remember what I went before God for now, but I remember the answer that I got. So that's very good.
Anybody? So, go ahead. Huh?
Mic check. Okay. This is answer to the question you had before. I can't remember how it goes, but My answer to it is like I really agree what you said when you said earlier. Some people want the wedding, but not a lot of people want the marriage. And I feel like even in the context of children, being able to adapt and being able to compromise, it really just comes down to what is more important to a spouse. And for example, I think it's important in how intentional people are with what they want. I'll go a little bit deeper. Like for example, it's one of my like dreams to be a father. Some people just want kids, but don't really want what comes with having kids. Sometimes it's about optics for certain people, and for other people, it's about like the actual responsibility of that said thing. Another thing, like I think it just comes down to like intentionality of what is important to you. Like some people want marriage because of the wedding. That also goes back to optics. Some people want children just because of how it looks, how fruitful it makes you look to other people. That goes back to optics. There's just a big difference between wanting to be a husband and then wanting to be married and then wanting a wedding. And then it's different to saying I want to be a father rather than saying I want to have kids or, anything of that such. So being intentional about what's important to you in said responsibility goes a very, very long way.
See, that's very funny. Something just picked in my mind. After a couple separates and they have a couple of children together, I think and I believe that one of the things that hurts a woman the most is the fact that a man has all these children and decides to dump them and don't care about them. He hurts them, he hurts a woman much more than, okay, we don't have children and everybody separates and goes their way. It's a damaging thing. And so when after separation, the man is still able to take care of the children, it gives a woman a little sense of appreciation that this one cares. I don't know if I'm making sense, because I see it all around. When a woman, she's bitter that he left for perhaps whatever reason, but that he left, but then forgot the children and went to start another family. You can shake the head and all of that, but the women that I've seen and I've talked to, that's one of their greatest regret, that they shouldn't have even had this much children or a child, and then they have a problem with forgiving the man, and they are very bitter. And the next guy, my God, he's gonna he's gonna feel the wrath, and they will be mean. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm.
I think as women, we don't just talk about accountability. A lot of women play the victim, and it's not always the man's fault. There are a lot of women who take advantage, who are verbally, emotionally, physically abusive, who use the system against men. They don't take accountability. They are selfish. It's a long list. And men, there are a lot of men that stay and who just for the children's sake and for whatnot. And like you said, there are some that will leave because they can't deal with it any longer, and they will actually leave the children because at the end of the day, maybe some are even afraid of going to jail. Some are afraid of doing something that will hurt somebody, for their own mental safety, their own mental, they have to do that. And I've seen that a lot. And as women, we have to take accountability. We have to put our feelings and our emotions and all that stuff aside and just work with the man. And there are some men who are very, they are not responsible. There are a lot of them that are not responsible from the get-go. But there are also some who are they want to do the right thing, but we don't allow them to because we want them to do it the way we want it to be done.
She wants him to suffer.
Yes. But I've not had such an experience to that extent, but I found that I had to put my own emotions and feelings aside for the benefit of my child to have that relationship with her father, Not that he just abandoned, but he was not in the same area we lived in and stuff like that. And when she wanted to see him, he was not available and things. But at the end of the day, I really had to put myself aside and allow their relationship to grow and for them to bond. So I think that it just comes down to women. At the end of the day, we have to continue to learn. And at this age, while these guys are still very young, this is the time to absorb this information. You have people around that want to teach you. And this is the time to absorb it, learn, grow, find other means of other resources to understand yourself, understand society, what people are thinking, what people are going through. You can grow up in the same house and be completely different people. What more someone else who actually grew up in a different home and a different neighborhood and all that? You're coming across people who are so different, who have no idea about self-reflection or understanding themselves. So now you're going out into a society where you have to mix with people who are not anywhere on your level, but yet you want you like this person, you want to be with this person, but they're completely different from you. But this is the time, I feel, to learn yourself and grow and understand, read, watch all these. There are so many podcasts. Even me, I'm doing that. I'm not just saying it for everybody else. But to develop yourself so that when you see something that is wrong, when you see something that is unacceptable, you'll be strong enough and wise enough to know how to move on or how to work through it. That's what.
Amen. Because of time, again, we'll follow it up on Tuesday. And those who watch online, I think it's very important for us to continue on this path. I want to quickly mention one or two things that I think it's very important in this process. There's what is called a premarital counseling. For what it's worth, I believe the person who is supposed, or at least is supposed to be done by a pastor. You can still seek counsel from other avenues, but truly, the lasting legacy of every marriage lies in the church. One, why? Because that is the heartbeat of the society. That is the heartbeat of God. God captures every essence of humanity from a family. It's from the family. From the family. That's why when God redid the covenant that he made with man, and man fell, he came back to Abraham. He came back to Abraham to reinstitute that covenant. The covenant of family. And so we cannot neglect the family of God called the church. One, we cannot neglect your own family, because a healthy church is a healthy family, and a healthy family is a healthy community, and so on. Healthy schools. You see people, little children, bringing guns to school and those kind of things. It stems from the family. But if we are able to plug ourselves into the right family, not expecting that they will be better, because you've heard about what is that thing, that the family reunion. Those things are turmoil. It happens everywhere, in the church as well. So don't think that the next person, because they are praying in tongues, there is something that is not twisting them. Something else is working in their life as well. So it's very important to have a base, and the base is the church. A strong family is a strong church. A weak family is a weak church. Let's not adopt what the world is doing, which is that it's okay. I mean, what are we going to do? Gays, lesbian, it's okay. Having multiple women is okay. Even pastors are they are a practitioner of these things. It's not okay. It's not. It's not okay. What God did not say it's okay, it's never okay. What God did not say is right, is never righteous. Regardless of whatever the society is dishing out, God has instituted the marriage. It starts from the marriage of the church. So somebody that is already operating in the church found somebody from outside. The next best thing you can do for yourself is to bring that person into the family. Let them understand. Make sure that's the place that you get nourished. Make sure. That's why everything must start in the church. When a child is an infant, you bring them to church, they dedicate the child, whatever that might be. The child begins to grow. That's a culture that is being formed. That's a culture that is being formed. And that's the culture that they will take out into the marketplace, school and all that stuff. And that's why it's very important for everything to start in the church. Don't think the church is perfect. The moment you think that, you have missed it. Jesus is coming for the right bride. We will get there, but we are not there yet. So we must give that room for errors. It will come many ways. Many ways. But involve yourself so that you will know what to do. The second thing is, make sure God is going to go with you. Because any journey that you go that God is not going to go with you, you will suffer much more consequences, negative consequences, than positive. You can marry a pastor from the onset, and it could be a demon in disguise. And you can marry just an ordinary person from the street, and it can be converted to Christ. So there's no set rules. You can't change anybody. But the thing is, when you learn how to pray, God will give you something to take with you on the journey. Oh, look for that thing before you jump into it. It's easier now They call not old age. Some of the people's age, they call them, they call it regret stage, where if they can redo their life again. That's why you will see parents warn their children, don't do this, and you insist on doing it, because they are talking about the things that they have seen or they have experienced in the past that they don't want the child to duplicate again. The choices. Abraham had a choice. You know what the choice is? Abraham loved fine women. What does his son pick up? Fine women too. They both, the son and the father, love this. They have this thing about good-looking women. And so somebody outside is always looking to get that woman from them. They run into multiple issues with even kings of nations wanting to take their children from them. So don't think your mistake will just go away just like that. That's why it is the time now to pray. That the mistake that you made in the past, and you have seen how everything spiraled the way it is, you want to pray your children out of that mess. Don't transfer your problem to your children. What did I just say?
Don't transfer my problem to my children.
One more time.
Don't transfer my problem to my children.
Warning enough is not going to do it. Even after you explain everything, it's not enough. I know if a situation of a family, the mother is always telling the children, you look like your dad. You do things like your dad. It's supposed to be an indictment. After a while, if care is not taken, the child will be full-fledged that husband or that man that you said. You look at the child and say, it's a split image. Same action, same talk, same process, the same thing. So that man is gone, but that man is in your house. So what are you going to do? So you will begin to see the mistakes. And if that child does anything similar, you are quick to snap, because that's what you don't like about that man. And now the child is here. If care is not taken, you will put a curse on that child. And then you didn't know that it was you that said those things. But how do we correct this? On your knees. You will have to pray. You will have to pray. I'm talking about not the Lord's Prayer. You will have to table it on your desktop, on your phone, every time. Let my children not pick up my bad habit. Let my children not pick up my inadequacies, my faults, my complaint, my weeping, my agony. Let my child, and you begin to bless them. That's how you correct. You have to correct the DNA. You have to. And don't think, those who of you who have not had children yet, don't think you are far from it. You can either pick something from your mother or your dad that is not quite good. Begin to pray right now. For a woman, lay your hands on your womb, that those bad habits of your husband, your wife, whatever that might be, that your child will not pick it back up. It's a constant, continuous prayer. Because you can't change who you are. It's only God that can change it. You want peace of mind. I know. I found out that women don't like peace. They don't like peace. Is that true or not? Answer me. I won't even look at you.
We want peace.
Huh?
We want peace.
What?
We want peace.
Man is what wants peace. Women like chaos. They thrive in there. So when they see inconsistency, oh, they want to fix it. They want to fix. No, you can't fix him like that. It is prayer that can fix him. If you don't want to pray, you're not going to see the change. Any change that you want to institute, how do you fix it?
In prayer.
How do you fix it?
In prayer.
Prayer. Prayer does not kill. Prayer solves problem. That's why you want a godly man. So relationship, good spiritual grounds, good spiritual relationship, not church going. Not church going. Now you can pick up somebody from the street, and I don't mean from the street straight. You know what I mean? You can find somebody that is not a Christian, but they are good. It's not an end. That it doesn't mean that they are bad because they don't know. They might be as confused as you are. But you can walk that line. Find a place. If you pick somebody from anywhere, you will find out. Anyone that is not, that say they are a Christian, truly, and they are not doing something in the church, beware of them. Because they will not give you accountability that you are looking for. You will have to be worrying about looking at their phone. You will become FBI in your home. Because in the middle of the night, they will receive texts. You know them. And so be watchful of those kind of people, because they are all around. They will do anything. Do what?
Do anything.
Do anything to get you. Hey, you are saying, no, I don't want this. They will do this. I'll do anything you want. Up until further notice. You can't continue what you are doing before marriage into what you are doing. So if you are strict with the man before marriage, you lay down the rule. They say you lay down the woods. You lay down the woods, you get home. You can't do that again. You have to change. And I'll end with this. Marriage is negotiation. If you learn how to focus on your man and your woman, you know their tendencies. You are focused enough to say, even if you hear the voice, you can tell who did that. It is your wife that did this. That is your husband that did this. Women are kind of good at that to an extent. Know the person that you are about to get involved with. In fact, know everybody that you are about to get involved with, because it can be your uprising or your downfall. Know the person that you are dealing with. Know your children that you have. Know their propensities. Understand them. Understanding means that whatever they say, just watch what they say. Don't be what is called an oversight woman. That means you tend to overlook. He's my child, he will never do wrong. Fix and correct anything that needs to be fixed. Train a child in the way he ought to be. So for the married one, let your eyes be single, so your body will be full of light. A distracted woman, and a prayerless woman is a keg of problem. A distraction, because they are very distracted by their friends. They don't know any limit. They are distracted by everything else. They are not focused. I thought this is what you want. Well, do what you want on the one day. No, sit down, relax, and find out what he wants by time. Vice versa. But more of a woman. Because except the man has some demonic activities working in his life, if you are good, if you are good to the man, he will think twice before he does some other things. He has to be accountable to God, not because not because of love, but because of accountability. That how could I can't do this? God is watching me. Everybody wants something, something cozy, nice. What is that word? Patience. Not every man has patience. If a man has patience, he's you have some men who are patient. They will just be looking at you, but they have something in the back of my mind. Train yourself to understand your person. Train yourself to do what?
Understand my person.
Again, not your person. That when I say your person, that means your spouse.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a man and a woman now.
Yeah.
Train yourself to understand your person. As you do that, you will begin to learn him. I wanted to talk about hygiene. Let your hygiene be strong. Make it irresistible. There are some women, they are bad breath, body, everything. Bad. Take care of that, because you want to really attract each other. Some women don't mind. You see, that's the problem. Some women don't mind. They like, so I've even heard women say they like sweary men. The guy that sweats like a construction worker. If that's good for you, but I promise you, you smell good. That's the only way. If he smells you, that smell will go a lot. It will go into his brain.
Pastor, what happened to construction worker? Is sweaty. He might not be stinking.
Okay. Sweaty, not stinky. Sweaty. Over a period of time, that the stench is there. If the person does not like to take shower, well, it will stay there for a long time.
Yeah, that was stinking.
So I'm not saying there's something wrong with construction worker. That's his job.
Yeah.
If he works outside, that's his job. If it's an engineer, that's his job. But to make it a habit that you don't use deodorant, you don't use anything, even at home, there's no limit. You enter the vehicle, oh boy. Because those are things. Good smell is an attraction. Good smell is an attraction. Keep yourself. Some people, those young folk, this is what I would advise. Begin to learn it now. Do you know why? Especially the young women. Even the young men, but I want to address the young women. You know why? The moment you start popping children, your attention is divided. So if you have not learned how to put yourself together, it will be doubly difficult. Because when children come, they bags, shoes, socks, everything will be all over the place. And it could be a turn off even for a man. over a period of time. So know the person that you are going to be around. Know them. Walk with them. Ask them. Communicate. Be honest. Love God. Adapt. Be spiritually minded. Find a family of believer. Be consistent. 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 How many times did I say that? A lot of time. Be consistent. It's a mind issue. If you are dealing with a man that is consistent, there's a demand of you as well. That's how it will end. If you are dealing with a consistent person, you might not be able to handle it because there's a demand on you as well to remain consistent all through. All through. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. They should understand as well that it's a season, but don't let that season be all season. Be consistent. Any question? Any contribution? We'll continue on Tuesday, like I said. It's very important for us to understand that God is the center of everything. God is the center of
Everything.
I repeat, Christ is the center of everything.